Do you have a process, like when you have your litters of puppies? Is there always still a weed out process?
Oh, definitely.
Is it?
You know, like we have that 4-week-old litter in the kennel right now, so they're just
Right.
starting to get up and, you know, play with each other. You can tell, you know, as they grow through the weeks, you know, ones that are more dominant, you know, pushy with the other puppies, some that are more reserved.
Yeah.
And I'm always watching too how they're built, you know, how they're kind of
Right.
walking around. You can see things early on. I'll put them up on the table and
kind
kind
of
of look at
pigeon-toed
them. Oh, totally, right? Yeah. And
Yeah.
head type, you know,
Right.
eye, how they carry their tails, all that stuff. So right from the beginning, I'm watching, right? And
Right.
then, you know, that goes to working with people, you know, that just want to purchase a dog, say for hunting in a pet home. They're looking for something certain. There's families that have children, so they want something that's easy, you know, say to live
Right.
with also, right? There's somebody that wants to do ultimately, you know, utility with their dog, or a master hunter, so you're looking for something a little different.
Right. Or someone that you know in the show ring.
Yep. Looking for a
looking
well-built
for, like-
puppy to compete with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll also get a lot of people that will call you and be like, I want to come and pick my own puppy. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. I'm not the person to work with if that's what you want to do. And there's not many reputable breeders nowadays that will let somebody just walk in and pick a puppy. So I try to say to people, I've spent 8 weeks with these puppies. I know them through and through. So I'm going to make a suggestion based on what you want out of 2 or 3 puppies, and then let you pick from there.
Right.
You know, because these 3 are going to better suit the purpose that you're looking for versus
And
these
because
2.
people come in and they see the one with a certain eye patch or a certain look in its face, like, that's the one I want.
Yeah.
Like, that's not one of the
And
ones.
that's the most dominant, crazy one.
I was not thinking of, I'm thinking of these 2 over here.
Back when I first started breeding, that's how I did it.
Sure.
You give me the first deposit, you can pick what puppy you want. And I had a higher rate of dogs being returned down the road because they were not a good fit for that family. So the most dominant puppy that the guy picks because it has a, you know, patch on its butt turns out to be too much dog for, you know, for somebody.
And that patch was the same patch as his old dog.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, totally.
My dad had red hair.
Yeah, it's exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, it happens. So, you know, now if somebody is patient and hears what I have to say and I explain it all, you know, if somebody says, no, I have to pick, you know, my own puppy, then I'll be like, I can, you know, steer you towards other people, but I don't think I'm the right breeder, you know, for you to work with. It's just, you know, not going to work. So, yeah.
That's a little intimidating.
Yeah.
But it's
I
also,
get it.
it's the right way to do it.
Yeah. I get it too, because I'm the type of person that would like to walk in and be like, I want this puppy. But then I kind of have an idea as to what I'm looking for and maybe. So somebody who has experience that comes to me.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can tell
pick
by
what-
enough conversations
Yeah,
with them.
for
You've
sure.
got probably 6 months to talk to them and another 9 weeks when you know there's
exactly, right? You weed through the puppies, and I'll get a lot of people who want show dogs and they'll be like, I trust your opinion. You pick what you think is the best fit for me. And you know, we've sold dogs all over the world, Iceland, Australia, New Zealand, and they've all become, you know, top show dogs. The one in Iceland, they're doing, you know, ptarmigan hunting and competition with her over there, and she's a big show dog and does that. Like, you know, fantastic. They let me pick what puppy, you know, they wanted for that, and she's done very well. So, you know, you gotta trust your breeder that live with these dogs and these puppies and work closely with them to, you know, find the right dog. Yeah. And it pays off in the end, so.
I mean, everybody's a sucker for markings.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you got all black dogs or all brown dogs.
Right.
Then it's a matter of head shape sometimes or ears.
Yeah.
Do you ever be like, what do you mean you're selling that dog? I like the way that one looks.
Yeah, I've done a few times.
Yeah. Is it?
Oh, yeah.
But again, you can only have so many. Well, you kind of laugh in the face of that. You have more than a few adult dogs.
We have a lot.
How many dogs do we have here? Like,
I honestly don't even know.
there's at least 20.
Yeah, I would say 20.
And some are, you co-own some with other people?
I co-own some with other people. I have a foster program too. So some dogs that I've already finished, you know, their training, their championship. So Mark, who we hunted with, he has 2 that are on our foster program. So they're, you know, LegacyK dogs. And, you know, they've trained, finished, all of that. He hunts with them and they're part of his family, live in his house. So it helps me have access to, you know, the bloodlines and the genetics, right? Without housing and you know, keeping them all basically.
Right.
So, you know, it just helps with my breeding.
Because the last guy that did that was Bob Whaley.
That's right.
They could keep 100 dogs.
Yeah. No, I'd have to have like full-time help.
Litters a year.
Yeah.
how early do you throw that little pup in front of a bird?
Not very often.
Right. You can resist the temptation.
Yeah,
to see
sometimes we'll put like a pigeon in a little harness or whatever,
Yeah.
and like when we had our pointer litters and stuff. But really, I don't know. Maddie's puppy was maybe 14 weeks. We showed them a bird, and they were pointing it. But I just don't want to push a young dog too fast. I'd rather do your basics, right? Like do your manners, do your crate training, your house training. Like
the love of birds is born into it.
It is, right. Do that later. So I always try to steer people.
That's
Don't
good to
be
hear.
in a rush, yeah.
And the confidence of the puppy, right?
Right.
So you're watching that as it's growing, and if it's a timid puppy, like obviously you're not going to throw a bird in front of it, right?
Yeah.
No, but people do all the time.
The
and
other
they
thing,
think that's going to help the dog.
Yeah.
You know? That's like trying to make me read when I was in 7th grade. So, you know what? Give him War and Peace. See how he likes that.
Right.
I'm on Dick and Jane.
Right.
I didn't need another book from him. I
Exactly.
needed some socialization.
Oh, yeah. It's the same with gunfire, too, because
that's another thing.
It's crazy the amount of people I will have that will pick up an 8-week-old puppy and be like, okay, so how do I introduce gunfire? I'm like, okay, slow down a little, right?
Yeah.
They want to take it to gun ranges. They want to, be throwing bowls on the ground and
Beating
shooting
pots and
starters,
pans
pistols. I was
or-
like, that is not how we do it. So come back and we're going to help you take the right steps to walk a puppy through it. So
that's a lot. And I know you've listened to the podcast on, when you have time.
Yep.
And I get those letters constantly being kind of a conduit for question and answers from every breed and every demographic.
Yeah.
And that question always comes up.
Yeah, how to introduce.
How soon, when? How soon, when?
Yeah,
And the word soon is in there. They're afraid they're afraid they're behind.
You're missing this window. And
they're like, not.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can do with a young dog.
Take your time.
Before it ever needs to be shot over or chasing a bird.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I know people can screw up a young dog, and it could be from starting them too early with gunfire. Could absolutely be.
Yeah.
People might do it too early, and that might not be what made the dog gun shy.
Right.
Dog might have a temperament.
Yeah,
that
just an underlying.
There's an underlying. You just didn't know it, and you just have no way of knowing that dog was going to be. So waiting is always the best option.
I agree.
Because then you're not worrying about. Well, I also seen him skittish when the mailman came out. Oh, is he just a skit?
Take your time and ours are well introduced to birds before gunfire is ever incorporated.
Just things out there.
Yes,
Birds
exactly.
and butterflies and leaves and
everything, right?
Other dogs.
If you've been enjoying the content you're watching, would you do tag us a favor? Please hit the like and the subscribe button.